What's going on, people? It's me. It's me. It's the BAST. Coming to you live from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, home of the cold. But we're past that. We're finally past that. So I'm very grateful that it's now 16 degrees outside
15?
in my backyard. Yeah, that was great. Great.
Pass.
And we have a truckload of people here to talk about an amazing topic. It's the trial. I call it the trial of the decade. Anybody can say that or not. You can agree with me or not. But here we are. We're talking about the Johnny Depp case versus Amber Heard, and of course, the regulars are here, and we have a special guest. So we'll start with Miss Kales herself. What's going on, girl?
Hello, hello. How's everyone doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm doing amazing.
I love it.
All right. Harvey is in the house. Jules, how you doing?
I'm doing amazing, man.
Here we are.
I'm living life.
Miss Michelle is on vacation, seeing the Mom Dukes. How's she doing in her lovely? Look at that grand piano in the background. Jules, can you
Yeah.
tickle the ivories
Yeah.
for us?
Mom played a tune for me. Mom played a tune for me later. No, Mom's making homemade tortillas is what she was doing.
Ooh.
Right. It's Cinco de Mayo or whatever they call it.
Cinco de Mayo.
We celebrate that every day.
Yes. And
I love it.
Special guest. He is returning for his what? Is this your second time now, Cam?
Second time, yeah. Second time.
Cam is in the house. Welcome.
How you
brother.
doing?
How you doing? I am very happy that you are joining us here today. That was great. I didn't expect you to come, but hey, I am glad you're here because you have a great perspective and you don't talk over people. So yeah. That's good. That's good. How you doing, Cam?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Life's good.
Excellent. All right.
Was Cam on the show where we talked about the dating?
Yes. How
See, I remembered.
shitty online dating was. I thought I recognized you. All right. All good.
Cam is an OG. So
I am old soul.
Great. That's great. So here we are.
Hasn't gotten any better.
I don't need it anymore. I'm good. So
Ooh, that's a different episode.
I found love.
that's yeah. I sent you a picture, Jules.
Hey.
Okay.
Right.
So, I'm not going to make a comment on that, but congratulations. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you. Yeah, all good.
I found weekend love. Does that count?
You found
You found what?
Still counts.
I
Medium?
found weekend love.
Vacation booty. That's what she got.
Oh, my mom can hear this.
Ask her who she be seeing.
It's not vacation if they're coming back again. It's not vacation.
Oh shit! It's a reservation.
There you go.
Wow.
Placeholder.
Wow.
Yeah, 'cause I gotta ship the person in from Scotland.
A return engagement. Gotcha.
Wow.
I'm shipping mine in from Texas. All good. So.
All right. Somebody needs a green card.
See?
Somebody needs a green card.
Someone's. All right. Let's get right at it. This topic was, I guess, brought up to me, and I guess many of you, because it's the one that's going on right now in the world that everybody's watching. That is the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard case, and we were going to do this a while ago, but some people needed more time to kind of understand the depth of the case itself. I actually did all my homework on the first day, but I ain't gonna freaking brag or anything. But here we go.
I hope that you updated yourself because there's been a lot that's happened since we.
Yeah, that was breaking news today.
Hold on. As a host, I'm going to break down what led up to what's going on. You guys can chime in.
Perfect.
You trying to say you're in charge?
I'm always in charge. Anyways, but yes, okay. Well, first of all, let's hear
how this all started, where this all came about.
Well, yeah, I want to do that, but I want to quickly kind of test the waters here and ask the whole group here: do you think this case um, can be really kind of called the trial of a decade? Is it that big of a deal? I'll start with Kales.
I think that the way that we are talking about this on all social media platforms, yes, it does seem pretty like it's a pretty big case. Should it be the biggest case of the decade? I personally don't think so. I think there's other cases that could be taking up that title, but
Okay.
I mean, it's up there. It's Johnny Depp.
Okay. Hold that thought about what other cases can be brought in. But okay, how about you, Jules? How do you think about this case being the trial of the decade? Do you agree with that, or is this case kind of overhyped?
Me personally, I think it's overhyped because I think it's a daily reminder of that. Even though people are celebrities, they deal with the same things that we do.
Okay, so it's just regular life, just kind of glorified because of the people that are in it.
Correct.
Just
Absolutely.
more zeros.
Okay. How about you, Michelle? You think this is the trial of the decade?
No, I definitely think that, like, with the whole, like Kayla said, like the social media, I mean, we're watching it. Like, I literally had it on while I'm working in the background. Like, I'm like, what'd she say? You know what? I'm listening while I'm working, playing it almost like it's a reality show that we're watching, but
Yeah, I
it's
agree.
a court trial,
Okay.
you
And
know?
Sam, what about
So
you? No, I hear you.
I
Go
think
ahead.
it's definitely a big, for us from a celebrity standpoint, it's one of the biggest court trials that we've seen from a celebrity standpoint, but not, I don't
As
think it's,
public as
yeah,
it
as
is.
public. Yeah.
Okay. And Cam, how about you? What's your view about this being the trial?
I don't think so, because regardless of the outcome, my life's not changing. Nobody's life is going to change. It's just it's a he said she said, and there's more zeros than are normally involved. So
Okay.
I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, okay, bigger things happening.
Okay. Well, the reason I say this is because I've been following as much as I could. I had to stop at one point following this case because it was putting me to sleep, because it was almost like it was very comical in terms of how the case was turning. I mean, everything that Amber Heard's lawyers were dishing out, it was just a joke or a fumble,
Yeah,
or just they look really silly. So I really didn't take it seriously. But the reason why I say that, I was watching certain documentaries about our past years, specifically the 90s. And this whole era from, I guess, we'll say 2020 and now going on, is almost identical, well, give or take, to the 1990s. I say that because we've gone through a pandemic, or a very crazy situation in terms of the world is in danger. We've gone through a war that was going through in the 90s, just like we did. Just going through the war right now with Russia and Ukraine, just like we did in the 90s with the Gulf War and whatnot. And to top it all off, we had the OJ trial. So that was a big trial at that time because of who it was. And I think it's just mirroring the same situation. Yes, no one cared, and it wouldn't change any of our lives, but the world was watching that case. Do you agree? Do you think that's on the same level? I'll start with you, Cam.
I can see the similarities. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to chime in? I mean, that's what I was kind of. That's why I really not taking it too seriously. This case.
So to me, it's similar because it's celebrity, but but uh, two people actually lost their lives. So that's a huge, absolute huge difference between this trial
Yeah.
and I'll be honest, I had no idea who Amber Heard was.
Most people don't.
So like it was more of a Johnny Depp versus whoever, like I had no idea who she was.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, let's break it down. And I guess I'll take the notes here. So, in the beginning, as when all this started, March 2019, Johnny Depp sues Ms. Heard for defamation. And again, he also had another lawsuit, and he sued the UK Sun for an article that they called him a wife beater. So those are two different scenarios, but all tied in the same situation. So I'll get into details about that later. Trial for that case, I believe, was in front of the trial for this case is in front of a judge. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Sorry. The trial that he had for the UK Sun was in front of a judge, and Johnny Depp lost that case. All right, he lost that case against the UK Sun because of whatever reason. I didn't go into details about it because I thought it's already done, so we're not going to bring that up. So, what the?
Phone call.
Someone,
Is that a hotline? We have a hotline?
Yeah.
Really? Out of all,
Hello, who's on the
We have a
line?
call in.
I should have shamed
You
them.
should just answered it.
Hold on.
No,
Here's exactly what it is.
that's your people.
You're gonna pick up, and it's gonna say, "We've been trying to reach you to talk about your warranty."
Your car's extended warranty. Nice.
Unbelievable. But hey, it happens. It's live. It's live radio / TV. It's all good. Anyways, I will continue. For the case, Ms. Heard files a counterclaim in August 2020 for the same reasons Johnny Depp is also suing suing her for. So let's break down what defamation is. Number one, the defendant lied about the plaintiff. That's number one. These are all factors about this case. Number two, the defendant made that lie to a third party, i.e., other people that are involved with him or her. Number three, the defendant was negligent in the lying. Number four, the plaintiff suffered reputational harm. So the reputation has been destroyed because of this lie. And the last bit is that the defendant's lie caused plaintiff's harm. Now, let's break it down here. We have all that information in terms of what is in place for a defamation case. Do you think, based on what you've heard me say, Johnny Depp is suing for the right reasons? Anybody can chime in. Go ahead.
I think so.
I think so too. I mean,
Yeah,
she's
definitely.
coming out talking about how she has been in a sexually abusive and just like a abusive relationship. And who did she just have like a fallout with? That's her husband, Johnny Depp. So, I mean, and then also with a bunch of people coming out and assuming it's him and her not correcting it, you're kind of setting a flame.
Okay.
And he lost like $35 million, right? Just
At
off
least.
the top.
At
So
least, yeah.
yeah, it's
He got
ridiculous.
let go right away, right? From Disney with the Pirates of
Disney,
the Caribbean.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then they proved that she faked those or touched up Photoshop pictures, right? So that's how she won the UK case, is because of the pictures of her being abused and showing bruises and stuff. And then they had somebody
The makeup company.
prove that, the makeup company. Yeah, that's another lie, right?
Yeah, that's a different one. That's a
Yeah.
different one.
Again, there's a whole bunch of different.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff. She's just not looking good.
The thing is with me is that I don't think. Well, I would say the defendant's lie has called the plaintiff harm, because based on how Johnny Depp's life has gone in a very, very volatile way, him losing those deals, that's millions of dollars that he has lost in a lifetime. I mean, he was part of a franchise that people are to this day are still watching.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if he lost this case that he would probably commit suicide, because
I don't know.
this is his life. This is what he does.
I think they're both batshit crazy. Let's not twist it, right? They both got issues.
I agree.
But,
They're both.
Now we're not trying to pick sides here.
yeah,
I'm saying,
taking a shit on someone's bed is just over the top, right? I mean, that.
At the same time, though, there is still things we haven't heard that have happened or allegedly happened on Amber Heard's side of things. So she just went on the stand for the last 2 days. Again, I didn't chime in on those, but again, that's still to be kind of to be determined right now. So basically, I'm going to ask the group right now, who is the real victim in all of this? Michelle, I ask you right now. Who do you think?
Hold on. Real quick. Like, the type of money that he lost is Disney money.
Generational money.
They still have the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disney as we speak.
That's royalties. Yeah, that's royalties.
So it's
That's a
insanity.
lifetime. That's what I said. Like, this is not just $7 million or 8 million. No, this is billions, because again, royalties. Again, any type of passive income from toys, anything that has his look, his voice, anything. I just went on the computer to check out soundboards, and I mean,
Give me the bottle.
things like that. His voice is also part of the package, and he can't get anything from it anymore. That's how bad it is. So we are, like I said, you take away his money is one thing. Again, Johnny Depp has money. He probably invested properly, maybe not. I don't know. But at the same time, the fact that no one would want to work with him is another thing, right? Because of that label. And he even said it in his test. I watched the testimony. He says whether he wins or lose, he still lost, because you've tagged him as a certain type of person that
Yeah.
some people on one side of the fence will believe, and some people on the other side, on the other side of the fence, won't believe. It's almost like a toss up. So when you say, that's like me saying, "Oh, you know what? I'm a good guy," but Michelle says, "No, I'm not. You did this to me." And whoever she says that, whether her friends or whatever, and it gets out there, that will be me being tagged at that person for life, whether it is true or not, right?
Mhm.
So that's it's a hard pill to swallow for him, and I feel for him, because again, I tried to stop. I tried to stop listening, because I was going through all the stuff all the doctors were saying about Miss Heard, and how she was a certain way, her emotions, she has a personality disorder, and so forth. I'm looking, I'm like, man, I went through this. I'm like, I was happy but sad, because I'm not the only one that has gone through this. A celebrity is going through this. Now, mine is not as hectic, but the fact that he's opening the door for people to speak,
Mm-hmm.
or open the door for men to speak, is a big thing. Whether he's in the right or in the wrong, but he is now voicing how he was treated, and is showing that women can treat men poorly too. Again, on the same side, not saying that Johnny Depp is a saint. He had his issues, but at the same time, I do believe, based on what we've heard so far, that Amber Heard has been pretty bad to Mr. Depp in this situation.
Well, just listening to you say the definition of defamation, right? All I'm sitting here thinking is, shit, I need to sue my ex-wife. I mean, seriously,
But no, that's the thing.
for
Yeah,
real.
I'm being
I
honest. I'm
mean,
looking at him like, man, I was told I was this, I was that, and
yeah,
I wasn't.
shit.
And this has now blackballed me
Right.
amongst probably family members and friends and so forth.
Yep.
I'm like, what the hell?
I mean, you railed about 5 things. I checked at least 4 of them. I'm like, yep.
And that's
I
it.
get it.
And that can't be changed no matter what, because again, it's already out there. It's in the universe. So whether she said it or passed it on to her uncle or her best friend or a coworker, it's out there.
Or in
And
this case, the world,
The word.
Right.
yeah, well,
The world.
the entire globe.
that is the whole world. Yeah, this is the spectrum for that situation is global, and you can't avoid that, right? Just like, and we can even tie it into the whole Will Smith thing with Jada. Once you do something that is that minor on a global stand, again, everybody who is everybody will know about it and remember it for the rest of their lives,
Yep.
right? So, with that being said, as I was stating, who do you think is the real victim right now in this whole case?
So, I mean, I would definitely say it's Johnny Depp, only because, I mean, I was listening to him talk about his childhood, and it literally, I was cringing, because I was just like, wow, he was so vulnerable. You know, what man would go, not only like just telling the world what happened in his past, if this wasn't like, if what she said was true, right? Like, why would you put yourself on the stand and say and open yourself up like that? And so I just look at it as he's a victim, not just from the stance of from what she did to him, but sharing his past with us, and that it's just impacting him, how it created him in the future. I just, I feel like he's a victim in more ways than one, but he's going to survive this, and he's coming out already on top. If you haven't noticed, I mean, I don't know. I was actually just at a store here in Ohio, and he is the model for a cologne, and they didn't take the poster down. And I don't know if they just put it up, but I was like, oh, I'm like that's Johnny Depp on that for it's like I think Dior Savage
Yeah,
is what it is.
that's correct. Yep.
You know, so he must not have lost that deal, which is good.
I think I can appreciate that he's not being completely canceled in all aspects, only because he hasn't been convicted yet. Yes, the things that have come out that he has done, aren't cool. But also she did a lot of things that weren't cool, and she still had a role on Aquaman 2. She was still, you know what I mean? She was still getting paid where he was being canceled, or, I mean, for the most part, right.
Effectively.
Cancel. Oh, cancel is the right word. Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to victim, I think at one point they were both kind of victims of each other. It sounds like they both laid hands. It sounds like they both said things that were pretty disgusting. I think that it's showing a lot, though, that Amber Heard is not as much as a victim as she's let herself on to be. This I was abused and that's it. Not I was abused and I also did the abusing and it was a toxic relationship. That's where I'm thinking of where it's kind of going. Like the text messages that Johnny Depp said, that's where he kind of lost me. I was like, oh man, that looks so bad.
Yeah. That's the recent stuff. Yes.
But then again, it's like Amber Heard, you can't say like, oh, this compact, I used this exact compact.
Right.
This one was in my purse and I used it for my bruises. And then it comes out that the company itself comes out to say, actually, that didn't come out until 2017. What you're claiming happened was in 2015, 2016. So it's not accurate. Off the bat, she's caught lying on stand.
Yeah. And that's
discredited now. Like you're discrediting yourself, and she's kind of making victim abuse, like abuse victims look not bad, but I don't want this
not helping.
Make people question real abuse victims. That's where it's going to get tricky,
This is a very scary part. A very scary point in our society right now with all the stuff that has been going on with Black Lives Matter and the Me Too movement. She has abused the Me Too movement to the point where even when women want to speak up right now, no one's going to believe them. They're going to say, "Hey, are you doing me like Amber Heard? Are you doing me like that? Is this true?" And then everything's going to go under the microscope. So
I really hope that doesn't get.
No, but that's what's going to happen now.
Well, and I think you'd have the inverse happen as well when they say something and the guys are like, "Oh no, she's just lying like Amber," even though she might be telling the truth. And right? So there's both sides of it, and it's just it's too bad. Exactly. It's unfortunate.
And if she gets proven wrong, guilty, and he wins this case, she needs to come forward. She needs to apologize to.
She won't.
Victims. No, she's going to have to, or else she's.
Do you mean other abusive women?
No, to other abuse victims, to victims of abuse, because at this point she's saying that that's what she is and not owning up to what she's actually done.
Here's the thing: she probably is. She probably is a victim of abuse, but you have to understand the man that she was with was in a very weird state. He was abusing drugs, using alcohol. He was doing all this weird stuff, not to mention his schedule is crazy. Now, I'm not saying that's an excuse for his behavior, but again, that came with the man, Johnny Depp, and you marry this person knowing this. You know what I mean? So
I don't think anyone here is innocent.
I agree.
Crazy part. And the one thing it does, it actually opens up when we actually had the episode on abuse, and there were plenty of men that were here on this actual platform that spoke about being physically and mentally abused. It's a lot harder for a man to come forward. In this particular case, it's I just think there's so much more that's going to come out. It's going to come out where he's lying, she's lying. It's kind of hard to tell because they're both actors.
Right.
I know.
Everything
That's
is
another part.
overboard.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like if I fell off my bike when I was 9 and I was so bad because I fell off my bike when I was 9, and then I took that pain and I use it into my craft. Like that's how it feels like some of the conversation is.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing. That's exactly, you just explained the life of Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali got beat up for his bike. He took that pain and he wanted to beat up every kid out there. So he went in, he channeled that anger, and a police officer trained him to be a boxer. So he took that anger and made it into something that is just almost godly, right? So again, people can use that energy to make it something else. So don't be surprised if Johnny Depp goes from zero to hero because of all this, because he'll use this in every way he can to better his career, because he's lost his career right now, right?
Well, I think there's some acting going on, but there's also some genuine emotion when, like, I mean, when her lawyer has just done stupid shit,
Yeah,
and Depp's like, "Are you kidding me?
yeah.
You know, are you shitting me? You're doing this? You got to be kidding, right?" And he's laughing at the guy, and I'm like, I don't know how you stop from laughing. You know?
Yeah, I was laughing too. I mean, it's not a funny matter, but I mean, like,
It's just like,
Yeah.
my God, you're objecting to the future
object
answer?
hearsay.
What the hell's
You
wrong with
asked
you?
the question.
Right. That too. Yeah, the guy's just out there.
Yeah,
That
that
I
was
question, because I'm like, was Heard really thinking that Johnny Depp wasn't going to bring an A+ team to the table? Because she brought a bunch of dunces, and again,
Right.
it's back. I mean, I don't want to go back, but the OJ case again. OJ brought an A+ team. He knew his back was against the wall, and now we're not talking guilty or innocent or anything, but he knew he had to defend for his life. And the prosecution, I guess, they did not come the ball. Like,
So somebody raised a question to me that Heard brought these lawyers so that she could use, I don't know, what do you call it, incompetence, or, you know, appeal by lawyer incompetence. Yeah.
Yeah, but again,
I don't know.
She
I
is.
gotta be honest.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it because they're.
Yeah, they're not good.
Did you read this on here? Yes, I read. Or did I read this correctly? You read this correctly. Did I read this correctly? Yes, you did. And then he's like, did I read that correctly? He's like, you continue to read them correctly.
Right.
I know.
It's almost like a just slapstick comedy type of thing that's going on.
Oh,
and I'm like, wow, this is weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I had another question for you guys now here. Because again, how much does social media dictate relationships, both public and private? So, and that we're not talking about just the Amber Heard Johnny Depp situation, although we can. Do you think because they were in the limelight, they have to do things a certain way or a different way?
Oh, absolutely.
Of course. You're being like
Without a
watching
doubt.
under a microscope. Every little thing you do.
Yep.
She raised her hand beside him and he flinched, and the whole world knew about it. We've all seen the clip.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like little things like that. Like when you're famous, when you're rich and famous, your relationship is not private.
Yeah.
Why? Okay.
No relationship private. Yeah.
And how come we're only hearing about these folks then? Why aren't we not hearing about others that are just as famous as other people?
I would think right now there's nothing else that's.
No one's shitting on anyone else's bed right now.
Not that we know of.
Not that we know
Not
of.
yet. Not yet. Next episode.
That's the stuff we brought up. If we didn't hear about that, I don't think this would be such a outlandish case. That whole shitting on the bed thing has made this global situation just.
It did make some headlines, but
there's other people that have relationships that are not being brought up to that standard, and there have been constant issues. For instance, we'll say Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee, they've had a toxic relationship. One talks about them.
They got their limelight. Did they not? Did they not get their light?
They got.
They didn't have social media. I don't think social media was as prevalent.
It wasn't as
prominent. Well, that's why I asked the question. How much does social media dictate how we do things? in relationships. And let's even take away the whole Johnny Depp situation. Let's talk about ourselves. How much does social media dictate your relationships, whether you're in one or you were in one? How did that change your relationship?
Perfect example is when the whole Chelsea Hart thing that we talked about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for them being quote unquote influencers, no one would have talked about that.
But that's the thing. They took their relationship public. If they kept it private, no one would talk about him at all. So I question why do people have to have reassurance or acceptance to put themselves on Facebook? Why or say that they're in a relationship or this and that and whatever on social.
Validation.
Why do you need that validation? Because again, this is why
And not everybody needs it. Not everybody needs it.
No.
Some people just want it. They
But
just want it.
Sometimes it's just to let people know you're okay as well. You know?
Relationship?
Yeah, just in general. I mean, and I've been through a lot of shit in the last 6 years. And
Mm-hmm.
if something good happens, man, I'm going to put it out there because you know what? I'm going to let my friends know I'm okay. Because I don't always talk to my friends a lot. And sometimes I say some stuff that's a little outlandish, a little stupid. But it's just me talking. And it doesn't mean I'm upset or bad or anything. It's just if I'll say, you know what? Damn, that's cool. You know, I'm okay. That's all I want my people to know is that I'm okay. And it's not
that you're okay with your woman or you
just in general, man. I mean, life in general.
No, I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Cam's right. Cam, I'm with you on that. Like my mom and I, we actually argue about this because so I'm not married. I don't have kids. So I can't post about my kids' ballet. I can't post about, post all the pictures about to tell how great your husband is or something like that.
Right.
All I have right now is my career. And I was telling my mom, I was like, yeah, I'm like ranked high in the company in the US. And she was like, I don't think you should brag about that. And I said, wait, what? Deal. I can't brag about that? I'm like, but I can't post about kids that I don't have. I can't post about my relationship. So when I do get with somebody, I'm like, yeah, it's going to be like the first date.
First date.
School pictures. I'm going to throw it in your face. I found somebody. But I did learn a lesson from a relationship that was like at this point, so I think been like 9 years ago where I was posting a lot and that relationship didn't end well. And I know for the next time to not broadcast it as much, but just like you said, letting people know you're okay. Cause I want to let people know that, you know what, just because I'm not married, just because I don't have kids, doesn't mean I'm not having success in my life. And I'm trying to live my best life. I'm trying to live it better even now than I did before because of the fact that I'm getting older, because too many people are passing away once you get over the age of 50 that I know. And I'm like, wait, what? Somebody else just died? What happened? So yeah,
but here's my question.
We want you to know we're okay. Question.
Why do people need to know?
Okay, so I will actually answer that question. It's not just letting people know that you're okay. Sometimes social media is to let people know that you're not okay.
Yeah,
and that you need someone to reach out to you, and that is, to me, I think that's a lot bigger because that's because I'm so heavy in I'm so heavy when it comes to mental health that sometimes people don't know how to reach out. So social media is an easier way for that. Obviously, it is used on both sides, whether it's good or bad. But
well, and another thing is, I can count my blood on one hand, right? I got my kids and my dad. That's it. Mm-hmm. But my soccer family from college, that's my boys. It's been 30, 35 years, but we get together every year. We are tight. Those are my family. Those are the ones I choose to make my family. Right. Mm-hmm. And then there's other people that I've known for 40 years that, you know what, I'm always going to know that dude. And they're always going to give a shit. And those are the ones you want to let know, yep, I'm okay. Because I know if I see something from somebody like my boy Dale says something strange, I'm calling him going, hey, you okay? Because I know what goes on in his world. And I've known him since I was 12. It's just one of those things that social media has helped me with, because I have friends all over the place. I went to 2 high schools, 2 colleges. I've lived everywhere. I have friends everywhere, all over the world, and it's like you don't get to talk to them all the time, but they can see stuff and say you're doing good, you know. Or like Jules said, if somebody's doing bad, man, I'll reach out and call them and go, hey, dude, how are you? How's your chemo going? You know, a guy like right now is in Minneapolis, just puking his ass up because he's going through chemo again. He's got prostate cancer. He's going to die, but we're always there for him. And that's just the core guys from high school that we just want to, we want to be there for him as much as we can. Like, dude, we'd take that pain from you if we could, even though he wouldn't let us, we would do it in a minute. It's just one of those, social media is one of those things that I think there are some bad things about it, but there are a lot more good things about it if you do it right.
So this is where I challenge. This is where I challenge the bad things, because a lot of people are in their own heads.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you could post hi, and people will think, oh, you're greeting everybody, and somebody else might think something totally different.
Yeah.
Right? Why didn't you say hi everyone or whatever? Like, somebody will find it and destroy it, and you're just being yourself, and that sucks. That's why a lot of people don't post on social media, is because they're afraid to get the backlash. I remember I was posting on a regular basis. I mean, to where I was standing at the bus stop, to where I was going to work, to what time I was telling everybody, because I wanted people to be in my world, to the point where my mother, God rest her soul, goes and calls me and asks me, what are you doing? What do you mean? She goes, why are you telling everybody your business? I'm like, is there a problem for telling everybody your business? And she told me that telling people is one thing, but the wrong person can destroy you in a heartbeat.
Yeah, she's right.
100%. And this was before I got into the career I was in. So I said, you know what? Fine. I took a hiatus for about a year and a bit. And then I didn't realize how much I was connected to social media until everybody started messaging me. Hey, what's going on? Why aren't you posting anything? What's up? Why aren't you saying anything? What's going on? So I realized that a lot of people depend on social media to communicate, when you can just pick up the phone or text somebody and see how they're doing. Not everybody needs to know what you're doing. But if you have a list on your WhatsApp, on your text messages, on or whatever, and you want to communicate with that person, that is just as effective, instead of telling everybody your business. Am I correct?
So I have some friends. Whoa, where we go here?
Yeah.
I have some friends, let's say, like, that are in a couple, because I know that you had said something about like sharing your relationship information on social media. So I know some really like solid couples, and they'll take selfies together. They're showing that they're going on a trip. They're with their kids. They show the good. They also show the ugly, their kid having a tantrum. Do people need to share that? No. But at the same time, sometimes it can be looked at as like motivation, like, oh, like, look, they're not perfect. That's awesome. You know what I mean? Like, funny. You can relate with people that way a little bit. Like, when you share about your life, like, do you have to? No, absolutely. That's not some people's things. Like, that's not their thing to share everything that they're doing. But then when you do, whether it's how you're feeling or if I'm okay mentally and stuff like that, it's just like, I don't know, it just kind of brings a togetherness sometimes. People can relate on one thing, because like, I'll tell you the truth, I know like a bunch of people, I don't have time to be calling them every day or, every other day to see if they're okay. But if I can see their social media and they're posting, smiling with their family and stuff, oh, good. Like, I love to see that. And then I also have some friends that are posting drama, and I'm fighting with my ex and I can't believe she cheated on me and da 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 da. Do I think that should necessarily be shared on social media? No, I personally wouldn't. But at the same time, it kind of looks like a cry for help. I think that when it gets to a certain point, you're kind of almost able to catch that and be like, hey, let me message you on the side and check if you're okay.
Well, and that's what I was trying to reach at, because again, if Johnny Depp and Amber Heard were not social icons in the world of Hollywood, we know nothing about what they're going on in their life. Correct?
Oh, we wouldn't have this lawsuit, right? There's nothing.
Well, I wouldn't say the lawsuit, but I mean, if they kept their business to themselves, I don't think you're right, wouldn't be at this point. Like,
if she wouldn't have written that op-ed, there wouldn't be a lawsuit.
Well, no, I mean,
there could have been, but we wouldn't know the background about it, because all this stuff was in the
true.
media, right? So that's what I'm saying. Is that, do we really need to share all that stuff, because if you really want to, I guess, respect your relationship, not every, because again, some people, some friends can dictate how you react to something, both man and female. They don't be because I know it's happened. It's happened. There's
But
guys.
I can do that because if I'm happy and I'm in a relationship and I find my person, my man, and I take a picture and a selfie of me and him and we're out and about,
Right.
if I allow some one person out of the 500 that have a problem with what I'm doing, and I allow that to stop me from being happy and showing my happiness,
Yeah, that's on
the
you.
problem isn't me posting on social media. The problem is here. Like how
No.
we can't be allowing these little bits of negativity to
That's what I was trying to get to.
return something that could be beautiful.
No, and that's what I was getting to. I said it could take the smallest thing that just triggers
that's
something in your
why I
mind
get
to go. To go. It could be something small to make you go south in a relationship. Whether your best friend, a mother, father, aunt, or uncle says something that just triggers you in a way and makes you change the way you are. That's what I'm saying. Because that's,
Sure, yeah.
again, it could be your choice of partner. It could be that you go to church or you don't go to church.
But in my opinion, the problem there isn't the post itself, but either who you're surrounding yourself with or how you are interpreting their, like, someone else's opinion. Do you know what I mean? So
True.
you know, yes, if you share something, you are opening up to getting criticized or whatever, which is fine. But I mean, you also kind of have to be like strong enough or, you know, smart enough to understand like one person's opinion is not going to make me change what I do or how I move, or, you know, if when I'm with my man, I want to share them. I want to show them off. One opinion is going to burn that.
Here's the thing. Your character speaks way louder than your social media.
Absolutely.
100%.
So no matter what anyone says about you on social media, your character is there.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to change.
Well, hold on, Joe.
It's hard to beat down. Like, it is what it is. If you're a good person, everyone knows you're a good person, whether someone hates on you or not.
That's half true though, because if only people know you on social media and you look bad on social media, they think you're a bad person. Your character.
Well,
that's what I'm trying to say.
That matters your reach. Like me personally, I have like 4,000 Facebook friends. I could probably tell you how I know each and every last one of those people.
Right.
So if someone questions my character, it is way different than a Johnny Depp or a Bill Cosby, Amber Heard type of deal. So I care about more about the 4,000 that know me than the 7 million that don't know me, a billion or whatever it is.
But okay, and this is why I bring this up, because again, say that one person that doesn't like you says something bad about you, right? That person has their following, so they may have 5,000 followers, and they know their character. So it's their 5,000 versus your 4,000 to challenge your character, because they're not going to put her under the bus or him under the bus about what they're saying about you. They're going to follow her or him about what they said. So now it's your 4,000 versus her 5,000. You look like a badass.
Yeah, but I don't care about that.
No, I don't know.
I don't care about that.
That's you as a person that doesn't care about that. You know what I'm saying? But
so here's the thing. If more people care less about negativity, we won't have these issues.
100% true. I'm not denying that.
Yeah, but not everybody's that strong. I mean, exactly. I know I try to be as positive as I can be, and I know people don't like it. And I know that I've now come to realize it has nothing to do with me.
Right.
It is because of whatever internally is happening to them.
Yes.
They don't want to see the positivity. And that's fine. I mean, and don't get me wrong, there are times when I am negative, but I'm like, life's too short to be living a negative life. And if, you know, somebody's hurting inside and they're going to come at me in a bad way, it's not about me. It's about them.
No, 100%.
Let me ask you a question though. But you know that person. So if someone doesn't agree with something that you post, Like it's on them, and you know that person's personality anyway. So it's like, all right, who cares? Like I know you. Like you're a piece of shit in real life. Like we're cool because we know the same people, but I don't fuck with you like that anyway. Like they say.
So I just posted something about
hurt people, and that's a fact.
I just posted something about the whole Roe versus Wade thing, and it just went off the rails, right? And to Jules's point, there's one guy that I know from college, and every time he answers something, it's like 5 paragraphs long, and it's all over the place, right? So I don't even read his shit anymore, right? And the ones I do, I'm like going, dude, just stop. I don't even care what he says. I let him do it. I don't care. But if, at the same time, there are some people that are really good friends of mine that disagree with me. I'm like, that's fine. We can disagree all you want. I don't care. It's my opinion. You can't tell me my opinion is wrong because it's my opinion. Your opinion is right for you. My opinion is right for me. Exactly. So I think, but to your point, would we know about them if they weren't famous? Hell no. But they are. And it's a little, their world is so much different than ours. It's, it's not even close, right? I mean, I worry about bills next month. They don't worry about bills for the rest of their life. There's a big difference, man. So I just can't, it's hard for me to extrapolate my life into theirs or theirs into mine just because they're so different. If that makes sense.
I agree. I don't, like I said, I am not putting too much stock in this high profile case, as they say. Yeah. It's interesting to hear the tidbits. Like I said, I was trying to listen to Amber Heard's testimony today, and with the tears and the very outlandish stories. I'm like, man, are you just hamming it up for TV?
Part of me thinks she is.
He was on a stage. I call it the stage, but it was the stand. But when he's on that, when the camera's on him, he was being him. He wasn't trying to overdo things, and he was just being him, right? And you saw, and I think that's why this case really is not piquing my interest, because there's not two crazy people on the stand. There's one woman who's crazy, and then there's this guy who's been crazy, but he's not acting crazy. He's not doing weird things to take the attention.
So is he acting to act normal? Hell if I know. I don't know the guy.
We don't know, but he's doing a great job. He's winning if this was a poll, he'd be up in the polls right now, 80-20.
He is up in the polls right now.
And that's how it is.
Well, she's really not. I mean, she's making it easy. She's making it really easy.
Really
lying about things. She was lying about her $7 million donations.
I was going to get to that. Yeah. I mean, I was going to question. Now, here's again a group question. Do you think she was doing this for the money? As much as she is in movies and ready, do you think that she was doing it for the money?
I think she likes the drama.
I think it's more notoriety than money.
Yeah,
but she can still make money. If she really, and she's a beautiful woman. Don't get me
wrong. Might not after this case.
Yeah, she might not.
You're right. But that's on her. That's on her. But I mean, based on the career she's in, she could make money any other way she wants. And it's even just putting her name on a clothing line, and she could make money. And she doesn't, or she can be a backdoor partner in some type of investment and still make money because of her name, because she's what she's already done. She's already established, so she doesn't have to really try too hard to make that work.
She's made enough to be secure for the rest of her life already. So
exactly. So that's what I was asking you. Do you think this is about money? Because again, she did say, here in my notes, it says she got $7 million. However, she said that she was going to donate half to the ACLU and then half to the LA Children's Hospital, and has not done any of that.
Right.
I think she's sent a total of $320,000 to my knowledge. It could be even less than that in terms of.
I think it's 350. Yeah, 350.
Okay, so I don't know.
It's a big difference.
Did they even ask her where this money went? I don't think anybody asked her that.
She kept it.
Well, yes.
On trial, I haven't heard if she had answered any questions about where the money went, but on a TV show that she was on, she was asked what happened to the the 7 million, and she said the 7 million was divided in half, and it was it was donated, and she's talking as if this is already done, and this isn't done because the spokesperson for ACLU is like, no, we've received $350,000 on behalf of Amber Heard, which $100,000 of that was from Johnny Depp on behalf of her.
Right. So
That's crazy.
now, okay, here's the thing now. With that being said, going back to the whole trial, does anybody know that Amber Heard was the one who filed for divorce in 2016?
Yeah.
She filed for divorce. So there must be something for her to file for divorce rather than him file for divorce. And he's the one suing her for this whole case. Explain that to me, folks. Because if she was so horrible, why didn't he divorce her at that time?
Love does strange things to a man.
Well, and or one thing you see from celebrity marriages, it's not so easy just to get divorced.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think they have kids. They don't have kids, right?
Not together, no.
Yeah. People.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not his first rodeo.
Nope.
Right.
He knows the process. So I think honestly, he truly loved that woman at some point. If not, you know.
So I think they both loved each other for sure at the beginning. From what we heard from I believe it was his security guard. His security guard was saying they started off honeymoon stage. They were doing great. They were doing awesome. And then eventually things started to get pretty rocky. And he kept mentioning, of course, this is Johnny Depp's security guard. So he's going to obviously be speaking for Johnny Depp. But, he started saying that she was getting, controlling. She wanted to wear the pants in the relationship. She would get snippy. Obviously things weren't so happy towards them.
But you have to look at it like this. Toxicity is always going to come out. Everyone thought Chris Brown and Rihanna looked so great.
Mm-hmm.
They were a great couple. Not so much a great couple. And it can go on and on when it goes from celebrity couple to celebrity couple. Offset and Cardi B, everyone's like, "Oh, you guys are great," until he cheats on her, and then like everything is in social media because they choose to put that stuff in social media.
Yeah.
I even had friends of mine would say, "Oh, you guys are the best couple ever." I'm like, dude, stop.
Yeah.
We fight like everybody else. Don't pull that shit on me. No,
that's not right now.
That's scary. It's scary when people think that you guys are perfect.
Yeah, there ain't no such thing.
Thinking, wait a minute, there's no perfect relationship, so please don't put that on me.
Yeah, you don't want to fake the funk. Don't show everybody something and know that, like and again, social media does that. You can get away with that. You can show rainbows and unicorns and lollipops on social media, and you could be in the worst situation, not even sleeping in the same room together in your home.
Bingo. Yep.
Yeah, that's very true, actually.
This is why I think social media should be pretty much, again, in my view, just out of relationships in general, because the more people don't know about your relationship, the more it's you and your relationship. Because again, I can go back to my family, my parents, and they didn't have social media, and they were married for 40 years or so. So I mean, whether the good and the bad, if that happens, certain people would be called or notified, and they'd come and hash out the situation as a family. We didn't need, the next door neighbor who knows us because we posted a picture of our car and they see us, they tag us and blah, blah, know about our business. That's not needed. That's not even wanted.
I think it's situational for sure. I think that some people want to share their relationship and want to show off. Some people don't. I think if you don't want to, don't do it. If you do want to, just be prepared for it to go which way,
Yeah.
But listen, how many relationships have been busted because of social media?
Tons.
A lot.
Mine was blown up because of social media, and not because it was anything I was doing. Is that the person that wasn't in their mind wasn't in their mind, like they weren't right, so they were dictated based on what they saw or what they didn't see. So because I didn't tag them as we were in a relationship, he thought I was trying to keep myself available for other people. Meanwhile, I'm in your bed
Right.
And I
Well, is that a social media problem or is that
Yeah.
her
Ooh.
problem?
but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's her problem, but because she's going to social media for validation, that's a social media problem, right?
Well,
If we
here's the
didn't have
thing.
it, no, what I'm saying is if we didn't have it, I wouldn't have that problem. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
I'm saying you
here's
wouldn't have
the
to go
thing.
to Facebook to say, "Oh, am I in a relationship with you?" Oh, good. Oh,
But that's not saying that everyone has that same problem.
no.
That's why I mean it's situational. It's
Yes.
situational.
I'm talking about me. Sorry, I'm talking about me.
Yeah.
I would never say that for everybody else, but I was just me. I'm saying that was a problem. I don't know, and that makes me walk on eggshells because I don't want to be in the problem where whether I post something or not, is it going to be looked at as a negative thing towards my partner?
Right.
Is it going to be a negative thing towards my work? Is it a negative thing towards my friends? Like social media
I'm
is.
sorry you had to go through that because that's some like
Be you.
underlying like abusive, weird, emotional.
Yeah.
abuse. You should be
That
able
is.
to and do as you please and have open communication between the two of you, not make it blow up for a post on social media. Whoever allows that to happen and to ruin the relationship is
Again, again, I'm not trying to post blame or anything. I just so that's the situation I've dealt with, and there's other things that I've come to terms with because I'm out of that relationship, and it took me some time to get past that because I'm now when I'm trying to court someone in any way, you want to know, oh, is this going to bother them that I do all this like a podcast? Is this going to bother people that I'm on a podcast on a personal level talking about personal stuff? Is it going to bother them? It shouldn't because I'm not talking about them per se, but they should know that this is me before you get into the the whole situation. So again, it's all weird steps that I have to take on a regular basis. Jules, you need to fix your damn internet. What are you?
No. It's not the
probably just
internet.
getting water.
Are you like connected to Ohio or something? Because I mean,
No, for some reason,
horrible right now.
my camera keeps going unplugged. Sorry, but
Bruh.
You're just
cut that
killing
shit
me
out.
right now.
So,
I gave you the tools to have a great podcast.
no, it keeps coming unplugged. I don't know what the deal is.
Emotional damage.
I'm sorry, I'm flustered right now. All right, you're a professional for 15 minutes, and then you go off and rails.
Oh, Lord,
Thanks.
Lord,
Yeah,
Lord, Lord
He
help
took
this
his
man.
hat off. Let him go. Let him talk.
Lord help this man. For some reason, it keeps popping out. I won't stay in.
Hate him.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Ugh.
Michelle, I love you.
But what you have to understand is you can't talk about the way that your parents' relationship was 40 years ago because social media wasn't 40 years ago.
No matter. I can still talk about that.
Well, and that was a generation that they worked shit out. They didn't just say, "Oh, screw it, I'm leaving." You know, there's too many.
Oh, Cam, thank you. Thank you so much, Cam.
No one wants to work shit out anymore.
No.
Nobody wants to communicate. Nobody wants to work on it.
Mhm.
They just want to quit and walk away. It's like,
No one wants to be honest either.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect example. This talk show that I watched. Well, I'm sorry, that I was listening today, and it's three guys and a female, and the three guys are talking, and they're talking about a specific thing, and the female kept like butting in. So he's like, "Hey, listen, I am talking to Roger. You didn't hear her for the rest of the 3-hour show because she took it
Petty.
that way. And they literally were trying to call her name and like introduce her to that. And she's like, oh, is it okay if I can talk?
Yeah, that's
and
when you should
cut
her off.
You're the most pettiest, petty Friendstone, petty wop. You are the pettiest person.
I don't get quiet. I get louder. Y'all already have saw that.
This is true.
I mean, I'll just hit leave. Well, I ain't gotta be all petty. You don't want me here, I'll leave. But you know.
And that's the thing, yeah.
But here's the thing: our parents talked stuff out. It wasn't like it wasn't just okay. I'm just going to leave. If you leave and you go down the block to the bodega or to the corner bar, and you hung out with your friends and you came back, we still got to have this conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And nowadays, I've seen people have their conversation, that same conversation, on social media, and it's like, why are you all arguing?
Or in court.
Or yeah, they get a bigger thing than it should when you can just sit down one-on-one over dinner, over coffee, or even just watching, TV or whatever. And you say, hey, you know what? This bothered me, and talk. I mean, you can't. You're not less of a person to show your emotions in a situation, whether man or woman. I'm sorry, just say it. If it doesn't jive with them, all right, I got it out.
Yeah.
We understand. We can either agree to disagree, or if this is a bigger situation, we can agree to part ways. That's how it is. But as long as you talked about it first, if you didn't talk about it, then there's no point. And
Don't you know confrontation is scary? And I'm not I mean, I think it's a little bit scary. But there are people who want to avoid it.
Yeah.
And then these are the people who don't talk about it.
Thrive on it. There's people who thrive on it.
Yeah. I mean, some is healthy.
Some people thrive on it, but some people avoid it.
Right.
At all costs.
At all costs. Exactly.
All right. So what
Which
I'm going to
makes
say
it worse.
is, I love confrontation.
Me too.
Because confrontation does not always have to be negative. Confrontation sooner or later has to be a conversation. So you just can't run away from every single problem that you have. When you run away from a problem, your problem is still there.
Yeah.
There's no running.
Like vacations to Ohio, but I'm not going to live there. But anyways.
With pianos. Like
He's
Elton
doing a
John.
lovely job in Ohio.
Like Elton John's about to play a tune in the back.
See, I like debating, right? I'll have a conversation, and sometimes
debating.
I'll play the anti or the contrarian just to get somebody's ideas, because I want to hear how they think. I don't want to know just what your feeling is. I want to know how you got there. Yeah. So if maybe I can learn something about that situation, or maybe it changes my mind. Hell, I don't know. But I just want to hear. I want to talk things through. And some people just can't deal with that. They get all personal about it. I'm like, look, we're just talking. Let's have a conversation.
Mentality count.
I love what you just said, because that's me in a nutshell. This is why I have the podcast. I can go on any side of the coin at any time.
Yeah.
Because I know that other people don't think like me.
Right.
And if they don't, I want to know how they think, so that it educates me. That fills my head with more knowledge. My father, to this day, calls me the pocket lawyer, because anytime I got in trouble, I'd be right there with an excuse and a definition on why and how it happened, and get myself out of problems. And I did it, and it worked. It worked years until my dad said,
I've never been in trouble. I should have been a lawyer.
But I'm also that guy that I know that some people have certain buttons, and just for fun, I'll push that sumbitch just to see how they react, because I know they're going to get all shitty and like, all right, I got you back.
You're right. Sometimes you have to be that guy, that woman, and say, hey, you know what? I want to just see where I can go with this. And you start.
Right.
In the end, you're not really,
toxic.
not that toxic.
It's almost entertaining though. Like Cam says, I mean, I think it's entertaining sometimes. Like I'll see something on Instagram and then I'll start debating somebody. I don't even know who I'm talking to, but I am just like so in it, and I'm like, but it's like just because it's slightly entertaining, but not that I have a mean inner spirit. I just,
you're just like,
you want to challenge. You want to have some fun with it. Sometimes I'll go into comments and I'll see somebody that I know has made a comment about something. So I'll go to the top of the whole feed and say, oh, this is what has been said. Okay. And then it goes. And then they're on me. And then they're running. And I'm like, in the back, I'm just laughing. I'm like, well, I know how their mindset was. I've entertained myself. I stopped messaging and I'm out.
No, the funny thing is, you do it on my post. My bears.
Listen,
let me know who you thought I was. I'm Rick James, bitch.
All right? I know who I am, all right? I know what I do for a reason. That's why they call me the beast, all right? I can start shit and get out of there without even being seen. And then you have to deal and clean up all that mess. I don't mind. That's only on social media.
It's so funny because people are like, yo, who's your boy?
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to come at me?
But
Why you come at me? And I'm like, well, just answer the question.
exactly. See, but
That's it.
A lot of people don't expect to be challenged, and when they are,
Right.
what
Right.
and they start just getting defensive. I just said a specific general question. No good, no bad, no high, no low. It was just a question. And if you can't answer it, then I know where your mindset is. It's
Yeah.
one way. You got to be able to think on both sides of the fence.
What's a question?
Question. I just want to know what a question is.
Yeah, what's a question?
Is that what I said?
I didn't hear it.
He
that what I
got
said?
excited. He got excited.
Told
Say
you,
anything.
Africans
No,
tend to
like-
say weird things when they get all hot and bothered.
He was
Emotional.
passionate.
My dad would stutter when I get in trouble, and he was mad. And he'd be like, and I'm like, you know what? I'll just wait till you finish. And
My dad was the same way. Oh my
I'm
God.
like, okay, whatever. Just beat me. I don't care. Just beat me. Just go ahead.
See, I got you flustered. I didn't even try.
Exactly. That got me going already.
My dad would just beat the ass and then come back and have a conversation later.
No, see, my dad wouldn't talk to me later. My mom would come talk to me later. My dad would beat my ass and he'll just go to bed. I'm like, oh, well, I know what I did. It's all right.
It's all right.
Lesson learned. If you
Did
got
anyone's family like bring food or like dinner's ready and that's the apology? Like
No.
the apology is,
Oh,
hey,
hell
it's time
no.
for dinner. Let's sit down.
What apology?
Okay,
No,
all right.
exactly.
So I will say this. I have been in a relationship in the past, okay, where we've had a conversation and we still sat down and had dinner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that
Like
serious
a negative conversation? Like
Negative
a
conversation?
Yeah, was it bad?
No,
We need
like
more
a heated-
details on that.
Just like a heated conversation, and some words are said, but it didn't interfere with the
Dinner time.
relationship. It was still all right. Well,
It's
we can
dinner
talk
time.
about
We
this
can eat.
later.
I hate you.
Yeah,
but we
yeah.
still sit
Look
down
at me. I need to eat.
and eat this pork chop. Okay.
Did you hold on, Jules? Did you put that situation to the side and have normal conversation during dinner time when it was time, or was it just a quiet dinner? Because if it was a quiet dinner, then it wasn't completed yet.
Well, so me, I can actually talk, and I don't mind expressing the way I feel about something.
Right.
So even though sometimes it's not what you want to hear, it's the truth, and you're always going to get the truth.
It's your truth.
Yeah. Well, no, don't say that.
It's your truth.
No, it's honesty.
It's your truth. No,
It's your honesty. It's your truth from your perception.
remember, there's your truth, her truth, and the real truth.
It is. Well, yeah, it is. It is the way that I perceive something. It's just like sometimes when I text you and you are very like short with the conversation. Well, I'll have to come back and say, "Wait, so how did you mean that?"
Who? Oh, we're just
In just in general.
I'm talking to
I'm
the
like, who are you
people.
calling out here?
I'm trying to talk.
See, now you're getting people all pissed off, Jules. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't been short. But no, I can definitely relate with you, Jules, because I did the same thing. I was in a relationship. We would get into a heated argument or whatever. And then, like, you have a little baby running around. So it's like, okay, we're going to go to the park. We're going to take her to the park. We're going to be okay. Everything's good. We're not going to talk about anything. And then when it's just the two of us, it's not actually. Sorry, not actually. There was no this with words. With words. Oh, my God. This is not going to be a case, I promise.
Yeah, use words. Use words.
Did you see that?
Use words.
The overhand slap. I heard it here.
I would never.
Oh,
But the problem is like when it comes out with this type of stuff, it actually opens up a different door on like how many men will actually come forward and say that they may have been physically or mentally abused. Right? So I do think it does open that door, and it's only because they are celebrities.
Yeah.
Because same thing you said, if we know that it happens on a daily basis.
Yeah, it does for sure.
Yeah.
But it
Not
just
many
opens
cases
the
about
door,
it. Yeah.
right? Like it just opens the door for men that are in a certain situation to be able to speak on it, as we spoke about it on I think it was episode 3 or episode 4.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. I don't think celebrities realize how much of an impact they are to regular society. They don't realize that the things they do affect so many people. It's because everybody is so invested in their careers, whether whether on the screen or off the screen, or on the stage or off the stage. They're so invested. I mean, how many people are cheering for Johnny Depp because of the situation right now, right? And at the same time, there's people like look at recent Dave Chappelle. He just got attacked
Yeah.
on the stage, right? How many people are now, on his side about the whole thing? About, like, people are invested in these people's lives. So when they say something or do something out of the norm or that triggers the rest of the world, people take notice,
Yeah.
whether it's good or bad.
I think what was really disturbing for me, especially about this case, was hearing Johnny Depp explain when he was being punched in the face by
Mm,
Amber Heard, how
mm,
he was standing in a doorway and she was just punching him in the face.
mhm,
And it's disturbing because this happens in real life. Not a lot of men will bring it up, but a lot of women, I feel, don't think that they're wrong because you're a woman hitting a man. A man should never lay their hands on a woman. But I'm going to be honest, women need to keep their hands to themselves and
mm.
stop putting your hands on men and expecting them to just keep their hands down. At the end of the day, if you need to defend yourself, if you're getting punched in the face by a person, I don't care if it's a male or a female, I feel like you should be entitled to defend yourself, not overly. I mean, there's a difference between beating the shit out of someone for punching you in the face or pushing them off. But either way, keep your hands to yourself. There's no reason why anyone should be like let off the hook for putting their hands on their partner, whether it's male or female.
Keep
I,
your hands to yourself.
I do. Now, I did hear today that Amber was stating that Johnny kicked her in the back on an airplane. But again, it goes both ways. You should not have to be physical with somebody that you technically love, and I think technically
Mhm.
you're in a relationship with them. If it gets heated and you need to walk away, so be it. Walk,
Mhm.
take a walk, cool off. Cooler heads usually prevail. If that walk comes back and you're not okay, then you have to talk, because obviously you have to get that stuff out. And after that discussion, because again, this is all about communication. After that discussion, if you don't feel that this is what you want, you can at least just leave. You're not handcuffed to the person. I mean, you might have children, you might have a situation, house, or whatever. If this is not going away, do the smart thing and separate.
Take a step
Yeah.
away.
Normally, don't make it a worse situation than it is. It just
So
gets worse.
like the biggest problem is that like it's here, that it had to get to this point. They both could have walked away so many times,
Yeah.
but
they didn't.
decided to continue to go back to each other.
Yeah.
And that to me is what doesn't make any sense. And once you poop on my pillow, like that,
That's
It's
over.
out.
Sorry.
Out.
You share my pillow. That's
See
it.
ya. Yeah.
This is true. I mean, this case is, again, it's not even halfway. I mean, there's still more stuff that's going, because I believe the Johnny Depp's lawyers have to cross-examine Amber tomorrow. I think, I'm not totally sure, but I saw she was on here today, and her lawyers were questioning her. So now I believe they're resting their case, and they're going to go get the cross-examination tomorrow. As I said before, do you think this ruins the Me Too movement, about people coming out and speaking out about the situation?
No,
I
I
hope
don't
it
think so.
doesn't.
I think there's been enough good come from it that I think it will continue.
Mm.
And I think you have to look at both sides eventually, right? I mean, I think this is it's going to have some people that are going to try to abuse it,
Mm.
because everybody does, every situation, right? Somebody does.
Yeah,
But I think it's going to keep. I think it's going to keep the positive impact.
I think it's opened a door for men to kind of take a platform in the Me Too movement as well.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think Terry Crews.
Even before, but I mean that just kind of helps.
Well, Terry Crews said something about the whole Me Too movement, because he had stuff happen to him
Mhm.
in his coming up into the world of entertainment, and I guess people didn't take him really seriously. Like, they didn't get the attention that most of the other women did, and Terry Crews is not a small superstar. He's a big superstar. He's a sports star. He's an athlete. He's a great person. So when I see that his story really didn't get the play as much as everybody else. I'm like,
Yeah.
and really
It's
weren't taking
unfortunate.
it seriously. Yeah, it's unfortunate. But now we have Johnny Depp, who's the mega superstar. Talk
Which
about
is sad that it's taken Johnny Depp, like this situation, to almost open up that platform. But I get what you're saying.
I'm trying to figure out if there was anyone else that could have done the same, but I don't think anybody's business has gone into social media like that as much as this has. Yes, we've heard about Will Smith and whatnot, but that's because of a certain situation that happened. We don't know about Denzel and his wife or Chris Rock and his relationships. We don't know about Jennifer. Well, we do know about Jennifer Lopez because
all of her relationships. We all know about them.
she's a bit on I'm not even talking about Jennifer Lopez because she's Latina, so I'm not gonna hate on Cinco de Mayo Day. That's cool.
You can't hate on Cinco de Mayo.
That's all right. That's all right. We'll let that pass. But
So-
again,
So here's the thing. I honestly, like, the sad part was that no one really paid attention to Terry Crews. Terry Crews was an NFL football player
right?
that was sexually abused in Hollywood.
Yes.
And people paid less attention to that
Mm-hmm.
than they do to this situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know how hard that had to be for him to even spark that conversation?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna put race on it, but I'm gonna kind of put that on there because he was a big, strong black man. I don't believe they took him serious, thinking, "Hey, you know what? Okay, you just trying to get in the limelight, whatever." Which I get
It's quite possible. Yeah.
right? And I don't think race is an issue, but sometimes in Hollywood, you have to question, say, "Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
He's just another one of those guys that's trying to get in the limelight." So I know there is a bit of a gray area, but it is there. So yeah, Terry Crews is unfortunate that he didn't get the recognition for coming out and speaking about the matter as much as he should have.
And mind you, there were, I want to say, I'm sure Kim can help me with this. It was like 4 or 5 hockey players that came out over the last couple of years that said that they were sexually abused.
You know,
and it kind of
Through
got
the ranks.
the rug as well.
I'll tell you a story about Graham James. Graham James is a dirty man. That man touched a whole bunch of kids in the NHL on the coming up to the point where some of these guys couldn't handle it and committed suicide. All right, and these are men that played in the NHL.
Yep.
Right, and until someone, I believe it was Sheldon Kennedy, who spoke about it, put him in jail. Right, they put him in jail because of someone like him, a person that actually stood up for himself, went and spoke on it, and then other people spoke on it. But again, it was so much. It was so much on their heads after the fact. Even the fact that he was jailed wasn't enough, and they were committed suicide because they felt ashamed of being that man, that strong guy to defend themselves. They couldn't because they were vulnerable. Like it's horrible. It's
Well, that
horrible.
goes to the thoughts that men can't be hurt. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Not every guy's tough as nails and stoic about everything, and we all hurt. We're just human. So,
yeah. Nor should you have to be.
I mean, and all right, if you want to go like a little deeper, it actually goes back to how the Sandusky situation happened. So, like, it is repeating itself and repeating itself and repeating itself, and it's not getting any pub until now. Like that to me is a bigger problem. So
wait, are you talking about the Penn State Sandusky?
Oh, absolutely,
yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Schools, and hey, a lot of these situations or stories are really brushed under the rug because of the system that they're in or the programs that they're in. They don't want to bring bad press.
Well, there's a story about Penn State from the 70s from Todd Honday or whatever that raped and murdered a few people. That's a long story, but man, it's a tough read. The stuff that guy did and got away with,
but hey,
just because he played football at Penn State, right?
Well, I mean, Michelle put me on the whole documentary about the keepers that was done in Maryland there, about the nun that was murdered by, again, the system that they're in, and that's even shocking. There's almost all these little small societies have their own stories and drama. And
Yeah.
if someone doesn't say anything about it, you'll never know.
Yeah.
You'll never know. And it's scary because it happens. It keeps on happening. It doesn't stop.
It keeps on happening. Yeah, that's the thing. How does it keep on happening?
I think it
Depraved
keeps on
mother-
happening to men because it's going to continue to be swept under the rug because people don't think that it's real.
But now, see this, and this is why this is a dangerous case, is because now, when it happens to women, now people are not going to take them seriously, and now they're going to be fighting a new fight.
I think it
how to
will take more than this case for that, though. I just
Yeah.
one's not going to do it.
I guess. I mean, I'm just afraid that some people just won't take them seriously.
Yeah,
and
there's always going to be.
People are concerned about that.
Yeah, and we all know that it happens. We're not saying it doesn't happen, both on the male side and the female side, even to children. We know this shit happens, but no one really brings it up anymore until a high profile case happens, and then everything is being said. I was touched. I was this. I was that. That's great, but now if Amber's case shows that what she was saying was all lie and all fabrication, that puts guilty men into a better spot because they can now get away with it because they can trick the whole court
Or
saying
they can think that they can get away with it. Yeah.
you're right. My apologies. They think
No,
they
I agree with you.
on how they act in court. Johnny Depp, like you said, Cam, could be putting the best performance of his life right now just to stay afloat in the world, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to go back, but I am going to go back. But OJ, he put on the most amazing performance anybody can ever put on in that courtroom during his case, and he was, as they say, vindicated. But again, was he? That's again another whole story. But again,
yeah, different night,
right? Different night for that. But again, anybody can sell themselves because all you're doing is just proving it to a jury of 12 people that don't know you or maybe know of you but don't know you, to prove that you're not crazy, you're not a murderer or whatever. That's easy. Some people, that's easy for them. They've been acting for years.
So that kind of answers your question. It kind of answers your question about social media. If it's not for social media, we would have never heard about the hockey players.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the beginning of the Penn State things and some other things. So, like this part of social media is needed.
Yes, I agree. 100%. I agree. That is definitely why I would use social media for my business, for keeping up with friends and family, and to bring awareness to certain things that are going on.
Bring awareness. Yes.
Awareness is a huge thing. But my personal thing is that I don't need to spill the beans of my relationship to every Tom, Dick, and Harry on social media because it's in your house.
Something should stay private.
If you can't handle what's in your house, then you shouldn't be in that relationship. Plain and simple. That's just me.
So all this being said,
yes, Kales.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All this being said, everything that we know now so far, who do we think is going to take this case?
Yep.
But
I can't. I say that, but not knowing her
defamation case. Is it going to be Johnny Depp with the $50 million, or is it going to be Amber Heard with the $100 million counter? Who do you think is going to take it?
Johnny, so far from what I've seen.
Yeah, based on what we've heard,
Johnny, for sure.
Johnny has it. Johnny has a 8-2, on this case right now, just based on how he carried himself. And again, the camera was also on Amber when he was testifying, so you saw the reactions of what he was saying to her and to the courtroom, or
non-reactions.
Yeah,
non-reactions.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's like she didn't flinch.
Somebody accuses you of some of that stuff. You gotta.
Yeah,
you gotta react.
My facial. I mean, I'm a guy, so I'd be showing my emotions so people can see. That doesn't make sense. She was just stone cold.
Yeah, she was stone. What you just took the words out of my mouth. She was stone cold.
But now she's on the stand and she's breaking out these tears, and I'm like,
I just want to know, like, why when she's asked a question, why she's like talking to the masses, it's like she's talking like just like I feel like Johnny Depp was very answering his questions.
Yeah.
And she's like well, let me tell you how it went.
Yeah, she's
And then
looking
it's
at the
on.
camera. She's doing that acting thing. She's looking at.
She's
I'm
performing.
One.
noticing some things. I just don't like the body language. I'm kind of uncomfortable with it. I've been watching, we've obviously been reading a lot of articles and stuff like that over the past few days. There's been a commentary underneath, and I'm seeing a lot of females coming forward to say, like, look, I've been a victim. I don't understand her behavior. I'm insulted. I'm questioning this. A lot of people are questioning her behavior right now. So
Right.
I don't want to say that either of them are innocent, because they're not. They're both wrong in many ways.
Which one is more?
But I'm thinking that because of all the lying that's been done on her end, that's been proven, I think that Depp is going to take it.
Yeah, that's right. 100% there. Because
I mean, when you submit documents that are forged or doctored, you're done. Period.
You have major companies coming up against you to be like, that is false.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, again, we've only seen the side of things, right? We might have to touch back again later on after
Absolutely.
see, because again, Johnny wasn't innocent. All right, we all know that Johnny has gone through a lot of crap. So
you're gonna have to pull a big rabbit out of that hat, though.
Oh, 100%. And again, I don't think Johnny is going to deny that he was certain way.
No,
I think
he hasn't.
The one thing that bothered me is I believe he was in pain on withdrawals, and I believe he had his pills and wouldn't give them to him because she was just punishing him for whatever reason. I don't know.
He's hiding them.
Yes,
allegedly.
That's a sad thing. You knowing that person that has going through a certain addiction and so forth, and you're not helping him. Yeah. That's a form of abuse that should not be.
And another thing I'm noticing is that her videos that she's sharing of their arguments, it's like her setting it up and then being like, okay, so what's your problem?
Right.
Like you can't tell me that he just right off the bat is like punching cupboards like he didn't do nothing. Like I don't like that kind of stuff, because I could easily scream at you, call you names, hype you up, rah rah rah, and then press play, and I'm like, okay. Like, what's wrong?
You my ex? You're not my ex. What the hell?
I do not do that. I do not agree with that. Ladies, stop doing that.
Yeah.
Stop riling the man up and then playing victim. You can't do that. No more.
We will definitely all five of us will definitely touch base again when we get more information about this later on. Hopefully, we've enlightened the audience on some great topics. Again, we've gone around and back because again, this is what we do here. We talk about things, and we've gone personal, we've gone global. We came back to the case and even dabbled on other situations that may have intertwined in this whole process, and that's what podcasts do. So I'm very happy to have these folks here talking about this in a very calm manner. So, but we've been talking for a while. I know Jules is going to pass out right now in front of us.
Bedtime, y'all.
Dude, I'm older than him. Stop it. I am about to pass out. I'm tired. I'm tired, man. My old ass is ready for bed.
Yeah. Some of y'all drinking water and talking shit.
All right. We'll definitely touch base on this again. Again, Cam, thanks for popping in.
Absolutely, man.
You bring a great perspective.
Have fun.
You stay here. We're definitely happy that you have found someone that is in your life that is a positive influence. So definitely.
I wouldn't know if I could say that yet, but yeah. No.
Fair enough. You're not cursing her name right now, so that's good. So,
no, it's right. It's actually kind of funny because we dated like 30 years ago, so it's kind of cool.
Right.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, no.
It's all good.
Good job, Cam.
Don't compare him with J-Lo. We all know what J-Lo is.
I said this is a J-Lo Ben Affleck thing. It's a beautiful story. There's nothing wrong with it. Cam, get your woman.
J-Lo,
it's all good.
J-Lo hasn't recovered from Puffy. But anyways. Yeah, we out of here. We're out of here. Guys, thank you for this night. You guys enjoy the night. We're back again next week with another topic. That's it. That's all. We're out. Peace.
Peace.